Is it going to focus in? It has to focus in. Hello. Wait there. Let me just take a sip of my coffee and I'll tell you what this YouTube's all about. Cheers. Cheers. It has been a while since I've come on to YouTube and to talk about anything fashion related. It's been probably the longest I've ever left it. I was writing my blog the other night, and there will be a huge blog to go along with this as well. But I did, while I was writing it, say there is going to be quite a lengthy YouTube. This is the lengthy YouTube. I've started a brand. That's what it's all about. Strap yourselves in, because it's going to be a big one. Where shall I start? Well, literally, I'll start with the initial idea, which was 10 months ago. Obviously, I was living in Glasgow at the time. Not anymore. I'm back down with my parents. I'm actually in my sister's house right now. There is so many YouTubes, but not on this account to catch up on. So I've always thought about setting up my own brand. I never thought it could be achievable, but I always knew I sort of had it in me somewhere. I always thought it would be fashion. I'm not gonna lie, I always thought it would be fashion, but fashion's such a hard one to, especially when it comes to manufacturing. I thought that it'll be easier if I could produce said thing I'm going to start a brand with. So back in December last year, I literally had the idea of starting and creating and branding and marketing a pottery brand. So pottery and ceramics are the new hottest thing, but there isn't anyone who do cool pottery, which is like very 21st century, very cool, and very jet set luxury. That is what I'm going to go for. So there was a gap in the market, and normally I'm always too late to these things, always too late on Instagram, always too late on YouTube, but I actually think that this pottery ship is yet to have been cast off to sail. So I never knew anything about pottery. I never knew how to make pottery. I never knew how to fire pottery. I never knew how to, like, you know, make it and create it and shape it. But 10 months down the line, I do. So I literally I don't even know where to start because it's such a massive topic and I've got so much bullety information. I will tag everything down below because I've got a new YouTube. I'm not saying the Unidentified Rocker's dead, not in that such way, but he is dead and he's going to be a bit more not really talking about fashion as such. There is still going to be some fashion, so don't worry, but there is going to be a little bit more, especially across my Instagram account, about the brand. So the brand name, I want to explain on here, and then you can go and watch obviously all the other YouTubes if you fancy it. So I've come up with a brand, and this is said brand in 24 karat gold written across this espresso cup with a 24 karat gold luster, which I've made myself literally from scratch from a bag of clay. And the brand is the Rolling and the Stone. So the rolling, I want to talk you through the brand name. The rolling out of the clay, and then obviously the clay is fired, it becomes stone. I've obviously got the rolling of said Jeffrey and then stoned, so it's got a little bit of naughtiness to it as well, little double entendre. And obviously the Rolling Stones, as in my favourite band, who actually I've got an album coming out 20th of October. I am very, very excited for that. But yeah, it's a little thing about, obviously the Rolling Stones are a British brand. They're a British term. Everyone knows they are one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rock and roll band to ever come out of the UK. My brand is based in the UK. I wanted it very luxury. I wanted it very stereotypically British. Nothing says British more like a band, especially the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stone. I keep on saying it now. I've said the Rolling and the Stone so many times. It's now become the new thing. And obviously the British love anything to do with breakfast and anything to do with like high tea. So that's where I've got a lot of my inspiration from. So obviously the sets of like high tea, afternoon tea sets of cups. I've started with espresso cups because I think espresso cups is such a good one to start off with. Espresso, everyone takes a photograph of the coffee, but my espresso cups are very different because my espresso cups look like they've been on a night out. So the whole sort of inspiration for these cups and the whole sort of story they tell is the morning after the night before. So the night before the party has happened, and it's like when you get up in the morning and there's like people who've stubbed cigarettes into your coffee cups, used them as ashtrays. We've got some espresso saucers where they've got the cigarettes, which have got a gold 24 karat gold, very high end cigarettes on there. We've got a little match which has been burnt obviously to light cigs, and on the bottom we've got the brand name on the bottom of the saucer. We've got the brand name on the bottom of the espresso cup. So if that'll focus in, hopefully it will be able to see the 24 karat gold logo. So we've gone for very, very high end, very, very cool. We've got them black, we've got them in white. Some have got like little lip prints on. That obviously it looks like a girl is obviously drank, stained the lipstick on the coffee cup. We've got them in white, black, and we've trialled a few red ones. The journey has been long, the journey has been bloody hard. There's been massive amounts of mistakes. There's been obviously a lot of money owed to my friends, to my family. I'm sort of paying them back now, but I've started a brand. I've worked with literally every job I've had in the past has led me to this moment. So I've got to, even like my friends from back when I used to work in retail, so they're all doing bigger and better things now as well. Graphic designers, models. I've obviously known a lot of models when I've worked in the videography industry and obviously in the fashion industry, and I've called on so many people who I've been lucky enough to know and still know, and then they've been so kind enough to help me out as well. So it's been a big journey of like calling favours, getting people to model for me. I do know a failing videographer and photographer who's never had a job in ages. That was sort of the massive thing about what I brought in my birthday post last year, about how if I can't get a job, if no one wants to work, if no one wants me to work for them, I'll have to work for myself, and I'll have to set up my own brand. And I wrote that then, and I was like, this will never come off. Literally, I'm sitting here a year on, financially, obviously, don't even talk about it, but mentally, and like having something I own, having something where it's like, oh, Christian, I need to do a video, and I'm obviously using my own name, Christian, nice to meet you, is really, really good, because I've done all the photography, I've done all the marketing, I've done all the campaigns. I've been lucky enough to have an exhibition in Scotland on the west coast, which obviously is a story in itself, but we had like a set of espresso cups, a high 3-layered smoking stand went up there, had my own exhibition, learned how to throw. There's been trouble with the wheels breaking, like 15-hour days, 17-hour days, 4 o'clock in the morning starts. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, as they always say. But I'm sitting in a new room in my sister's house. This is my makeshift studio for now. Got a lot of product and stuff and wrapping and marketing and logos, and literally it's been the best time ever. And I feel like everything I've done, as I say, has sort of led me to this moment of like, this is what I've always meant to do, and it's pretty bloody good. So we've got like, these are covered in clay, but we've got these little napkins, written down number from a girl at a bar. Say if you were, you know, sitting there and a girl passes the napkin, like kisses the napkin or writes a number on it. These are real. This has got the logo here. The logo itself is a huge story. We've got the coolest little matchbox of all time. This one's a little bit ruined, but inside we've got a set of matches. These are just ones I like used to light candles. That's a story in itself. Espresso cups, dirty dishes, spoons. That is the way it's going, and it's been a big one, I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to remember what I've been writing on my blog of like, this is what I'm gonna tell you on this YouTube, but there's literally so many things. I don't want to bore you with like a massive, huge YouTube. But I did want to hop on, I did want to explain why I've been away. This is the longest I've never written my blog, this is the longest I've never appeared on YouTube. But it's nice to be back, I'm not gonna lie, and I've got so much to explain. Basically, if you want all the stories in depth, I've been recording all these YouTubes every single week or so, from back in January to obviously now in October. It's the weekend of my birthday, and I thought I sort of soft launched the brand like a couple of weeks ago, been giving you the odd little, you know, repost on my stories, but I thought, right, this weekend, since it's my birthday and since we're so close to like properly launching my brand, or like the soft launch, and this is where I'm just going to be like, right, I'll go fully in and explain everything. So yeah, hopefully you can go across and check the website out. The website's up. That was Another one which I never knew coding, I never knew how to make a website. I know some coding now, I'm not going to lie, I think I did a pretty good job on a Shopify, still a Shopify template, but it's very, very, very on point with the brand. So instead of like buy now, when you click on the little button, it's put me in your basket, or like, I don't know, like take me all the way. So the wording, the photographs, the about us page, the exhibition page is a really, really good one to go and check out. And obviously all the products, you have to go and check out the products. If you love an espresso, if you love a coffee in the morning, what's better than having the coolest espresso cup of all time with the stubbed out cigs, the ash, the little matches. We've got lighters on there, we've got little kisses on the cups. So it's really, really good. I'd really appreciate you going to check it out, especially if this is the first year hearing of it. That'll be really, really good if you could, and just tell me what you think. I'd love to know. I'd love to know, obviously, if you like, obviously, a lovely little espresso in the morning. There's a lot of stuff to come. There's been, obviously, I've trialled out a couple of plates, I've trialled out a couple of cigarette ashtrays, which is super cool. I've always been into clay, like I've always loved doing it, and this is like a lockdown thing where I did, I think I remember talking when I said, obviously, I was painting in lockdown, I was also doing clay in lockdown, and this is the thing where it's sort of been staring me in the face all this time. And like it's just happened now, but it's perfectly on time, I think. But yeah, it's really, really cool. It's really, really good. Website is www.therollinganthestoned.co.uk. So it's quintessentially British. It is rock and roll, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go for jet set 70s luxury. Those are my three big terms I want to like have in the bag. But yeah, everything down to like the packaging, eco-friendly, everything I've sort of got and sort of made is with companies in the UK and comes from the UK. The clay comes from the UK. The clay comes in literally a bag. I have to throw it on the wheel. I have to make the physical shapes of the espresso cups, the saucers, then they dry, then I cut them, and then they dry again, put the handles on, fire them 3 times. It's a massive process. It's massively time consuming, and I'm using the best materials. I started from not knowing anything and like not being able to do the physical thing, so I've learned a skill as well as to set up a business. So I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but yeah, I'm actually pretty good at it. If I'm coming up with little cups and saucers like this after 10 months, and obviously there's been so many trials, so many things have gone wrong, but these are the first things I thought, right, I would actually buy that. It's literally 10 out of 10. The stamp works, the seal works, the packaging, the gold, the all eco-friendly, it's all good, and I'm super excited to share it. So yeah, there'll be a lot more YouTubes obviously on here, but there'll definitely be a lot more across on the Rolling and the Stoned on YouTube, so you can search for that. Those will hopefully be in the description as well. I'll be able to tag everything up and have the little website below. So thanks for sticking by us. This is obviously the excuse why I've not been recording any YouTubes or posting any blogs. So hopefully you can get on board with the new little project I've got going on, and the brand. Literally behind me is a company's house red-chested bit of paper to say, I am the director of the Rolling and the Stoned. So hopefully I won't have Mick on the phone. I've also got a very, very nice, tasty British, quite royal logo, which we have changed 9 times, and we have added obviously some clay tools to like sum up with the Union Jack, which is a class story. You definitely need to go across and see how that came about, but I don't really want to ring off Charles either. So Mick on the phone, Charles on the phone, no. I did look up obviously the magazine as in the Rolling Stone magazine, and there's such a good story about how that came about and how the band sort of got their own way and said it was okay to use. So I think the Rolling and the Stoned is definitely a little bit different, but still I'm definitely flying close to the wind. But it's only out of admiration and out of obviously the rolling out of the clay and the stoned. I am using said name, but I think it's such a good name. It came to me back in December last year, and I've been rolling with it ever since. So yeah, definitely check out a few more things. I can't talk about it all, and I probably will do one about the exhibition I've had as well. But basically, there's the general outlook. There's what I've been up to. Hopefully you can get on board. I know you will get on board. Have a little look. I'd love to know your feedback. I'd love to know what you think. And definitely go and check it out. I appreciate it. And thanks for checking back in with me on YouTube. Head across to the Rolling and the Stone YouTube to find out literally where I started, where I am, wherever I'm posting up to on there. There's definitely a few videos to go and check out, and definitely have a little look at my cups online. Thanks, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.